welcome to GearHeads. If you watched one of our recent episodes where we had shown my heater core blew up in the Miata, you'll know what project we're doing today. So the deal is we're gonna try and do this without pulling the dash out of the car. It's possible, it's just very tight and not easy to get to. So are you ready to get under the dash?
I guess.
I'm not gonna do it.
Since I'm the only one that fits, I guess it's gonna be my job to
my big gorilla hands don't
make
fit.
it as easy as possible.
Yeah, so anyway, Matt's gonna go ahead and get under the dash. We're gonna pull the driver's seat out, and that just gives you a little bit more room while you're down there. And it's gonna be tight, so it's gonna be hard to film. But hopefully this shows you guys and you get some good info from it, because I know a lot of people are afraid of doing a heater core. A lot of times if they blow, people just cancel them and bypass them altogether. I didn't want to do that. I would like to still have heat when it's cold outside in the winter. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Whew.
So just to start, we went ahead and removed the hardtop, and then we're going to take the seat out, and that's just going to give us a little bit more room since we are trying to access the heater core from underneath the dash. We want as much room as possible, so we're going to get started with this.
So the floor in here is actually still pretty damp. The best we did was let it air out. If something like this happens to you, the best thing really to do would be to soak all of it up. If you can, pull the carpets up. You can soak it up with kitty litter or something like that if you pull the carpets up out of the way and you want to get underneath that. Ultimately though, I actually want to get rid of this stuff. This carpet in here is already kind of a mess anyways. I'm not actually a big fan of the tan color myself. I would like to just throw some black carpeting in here. So I think since we live in such a hot place, if I just leave the top off the car and I let the car sit outside in the sun for a day, this thing will probably dry right out just fine. So anyways, for the moment, I think Matt's got a mat. Matt has a mat. Matt has a mat that he's gonna go ahead and throw down in here so that he doesn't get all soaked. But let's go ahead and get started with this. This shouldn't be too bad. I know a lot of times people are afraid of doing the heater core and you don't want to have to pull the dash out, just like we don't want to have to pull the dash out.
So we're not going to.
Hopefully this works, huh? Alright, should be good. There you go. Nice mat to sit Matt on.
For the mat?
I got a mat for my mat. Isn't that cute?
Super cute. Do I look cute? On my mat?
Totes adorbs. So before we start getting all crazy underneath the dash, I think it would be best to just go ahead and pull these two lines off up here. They need to come off anyway. Come on. There's one. There's two. All right. And there's our ugly copper lines. So before we actually start pulling anything out of the car, I wanted to show you guys the new one and explain exactly how we're going to be doing it. Now, one of the best things about owning a Miata is just how much support there is out there in terms of aftermarket companies, and then even companies that do wrecked Miatas or parted out Miatas, and one of them is called Parts Group. So just go to partsgroup.com, and another good one is Planet Miata. But anyways, I called up Parts Group and ordered this whole heater core set. I had no idea they were sending the whole thing here like this. I thought it was just going to be the heater core and the lines. But this was only $40, which is a super fair price, and this is actually sort of an upgrade for the NA because it is, it's from an NB. It's from like a 99, I think. And the deal with these is they're not copper like the NA one is, and these won't corrode near as easy. They're also stronger too, so it's easier to get your clamps on your hoses on the firewall without damaging them, because the stock ones are just so they just bend so easy and they break easy. So anyways, this is going to be a lot better, and this is sort of a representation of how this sits underneath the dash behind the tombstone. So we're going to be showing you guys from where Matt's reaching, but if you look above the gas pedal in the car, basically to the right, you'll see this area over here. There is a screw on this side here holding the cover on, and one more over here, and this pulls off, and then you've got two more Phillips head screws holding the pipes on, And after that, you get access to the actual heater core itself. So it's actually not that bad. It's not a lot of parts or anything like that. So it's simple. It's just hard to reach everything since you have to cramp up down there. But yeah, I'm super stoked because this was only 40 bucks and it's got everything we need. And also, like I said, it's an upgrade from the NA ones that, you know, they always corrode out after a while. So this will be better. Oh,
Do you need anything else?
yeah, dude. They sent me this Honda small engine manual as packing. That's funny. But anyways, that's it. So the process is going to be exactly the same on the NA one, except for the hoses that come off on this one. They have those V-band clamps that hold them on to the heater core. And the NA has one with a rubber hose holding it and the other one's fixed, so we're gonna have to cut it to pull it out. But since it's that crappy thin copper stuff, it should cut pretty easy. Okay, so the process with this heater core will be the same as what Matt just did on the floor, but you can see the accelerator pedal down here, and then you gotta go up to the right, and that white box you see in there is it. So there you go. So you can see it. It's accessible. It's just not easy. So can you get to those screws, Matt?
Yeah, should be able to.
All right, let's give it a shot.
Got it. So I got the two screws that are holding the cover on. The one back here, and then the one up. Oh, you can probably see it. The one up here. So this cover should
Pop off here.
pop right off. There we go.
There we go.
All right.
There we go. We're looking at our heater core. Okay, so you can see right here in the shot, the one on the right has a rubber clamp or a rubber hose that's clamped on, and so we're gonna have to take that clamp off. And the one on the left is a hard line going through the firewall, and we're gonna have to cut that one so that we can slide the heater core straight out, just like the one that Matt did on the floor, because you can't slide it out with the lines on. There's too much stuff up here in the way. But anyways, we've got access to that now at least. And then did you get there's two more screws holding in the lines further up, right?
Yeah, I haven't gotten those yet.
Okay, yeah, there's like one right up there.
Okay. The other one's in here.
And that clamp,
This one and this one.
All right. And you can see that second clamp just came loose. There's just one of them on each of the lines. So one more thing real quickly before we finish pulling the heater core out. I think it would be a good idea to get a shop vac if you have one. If you don't, it's not a big deal, but I'd like to try and avoid spilling more water than necessary in the car and on Matt's face. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a shop vac here, just right up to the hoses or the pipes coming off, and see if we can suck any extra water out of the heater core. All right, well, I don't have a way to measure it, but I could feel water coming out. I just stuck this end over the hose and pulled my fingers down around it to create a light seal. I know it was pulling water and air through because you could feel the suction on the other pipe right next to it. But some water did come out. Hopefully that helps. It can't hurt.
So this is going to be the rubber line that hooks the top hose to the heater core. So this is what we're going to go ahead and remove next.
Is that thing moving at all?
Not really. I'm trying to get it to though.
Do you need me to pull through the from the firewall? Maybe give it some pull. Give it some.
Give it some pull.
I'm gonna give it some pull, bro. What kind of English is that?
Yeah, you might need to pull it from that side.
Okay, which one is it? Can you see which one it goes? Is the one on the left or the right?
If you are facing it, it's going to be the one on the right.
So towards the
driver's side.
Towards the driver's side. Okay.
There you go. There you go. Good.
Got it?
Yeah, go ahead and pull it through.
There we go. Beautiful. Coming out.
The blood's rushing to my head.
Your hair, dude.
So the next step to remove the heater core is we are gonna have to cut that one line that's stuck through the firewall. Now I'm gonna be using this pipe cutter that I found. I don't remember when or why I got it, but I'm glad I have it now. There's a couple of different options that you have to cut the line. You could use tin snips if you can fit your hand in there, a hacksaw blade. You have a couple of different options on how to get it out.
You could use a Dremel with a cutoff.
Yeah, a Dremel as well.
That thing's small though, so luckily it'll fit.
Yeah, it does spin all the way around. Like I said, it is a tight fit though, so just whatever you use is, up to you. But here we go.
All right, well you can see the green thing on the line there. So we'll try and cut it there, and hopefully if that's at least enough off the line to where we can slide the heater core out. If not, then we'll just bend it down after it's cut or something like that. It'll be fine since we're taking it out anyway. But it'll be hard to film it, but Matt's basically just gonna spin that thing around until it cuts through. Go for it, buddy. How much longer?
Shut up. Alright, so I did get this cut here. I got it cut far enough away from the firewall that I can actually just bend this now if I need to, in order to help me pull this heater core out now. So
it should be free to pull out, right?
Yeah, but I think it's gonna take 2 hands. Actually guys, so I was tugging real hard on this trying to pull the heater core out, but on this model there is another clamp, the one that was here before, and it actually screws the holds the pipe down to the outside of the box here, so you're not gonna get very far if it's still screwed in. Oh, look, there we go.
Oh, you can do it with your left hand now, look at that. Oh, here it comes. I have no idea if the camera's capturing well right now or not.
Well,
I can't see.
my head is sandwiched between the side of the car and the clutch pedal. I don't even know if I'm pulling on this straight. Oh, got it. Ooh. Okay, take this, please.
Congratulations!
You have won.
There it is. That's one of the most creative ways I've seen you getting out so far.
Help, dude.
Help? What do you want me to do? Dude, it's so not focusing. There we go.
This sucks.
So if you're doing this job without pulling the dash from the car, this is the issues you might run into. First off, I ended up getting this NB one partially because of the fact that you can't even go and find these NA ones. If you go on Rock Auto or a lot of different websites, they don't carry them. So it seems like they're out of stock in a lot of places and they're not easy to find. And if you do replace these ones, you're gonna have to cut so that you can install it again without pulling the dash out. You're going to have to cut the line here and then get another hose and clamp it on each side so that it doesn't leak. That's an option if you want to, or you can just get rid of it completely and do what I did, get an actual heater core itself and the lines from an NB. And then these have a V-band style clamp that holds them on here. Now the one problem might be these things might be kind of difficult to get set in and sealed right while it's in the car because it's just tight down there and there's not a lot of area to move your hands around. But I think that's what we're going to try. I have seen people install these also similar to that one where they'll leave the V-band connections alone and they'll cut each line right above them, like right here, maybe about an inch away, and then they'll connect them with clamps on each side and do it that way. And that's, like I said, it's an option. I would rather not do that if I can help it though. I'd rather just leave it all together. Less cuts is less opportunities to leak. But yeah. I mean, so far, I think, Matt, I don't know, it's going pretty well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah? I think it's going pretty well. You look like you're having fun.
Do I?
Yeah. I'm almost jealous. Well, let's go ahead and pull these off and see what it looks like and see how we can get that in there. Okay, there's one. Okay. All right, so I think there's O-rings in here too. Yeah. Okay. Nah, I don't think it'll be that.
That's not gonna be a big deal.
I don't think it'll be that bad. It's just not gonna be super easy. So here's what you're gonna have to do: is we'll have to slide the heater core in, and then when we put the lines in, we'll have these up on above, and then we'll have to slide it down over and get it to connect. The only problem is when it's in there, you need to make darn sure that the V part of the clamp is holding on to both the lip on the edge of the pipe here and the lip on here, because if you go at it offset at all, it'll just crush it and then it'll leak. We don't want that. So you just have to be careful, but I think it should work good. Also, it's worth noting, if you buy these from Parts Group like I did, they actually pressure test all of these before they sell them to you and make sure they don't have leaks of their own or anything like that, which is really nice. And like I said, it's such a fair price, 40 bucks. I was thinking about getting one of these on Rock Auto, but it doesn't come with the lines, and even just the heater core itself I think was like 60 or 70 bucks, so I saved money there. And this thing's in perfect shape. It's not corroded anywhere or anything. It's very clean and in a nice shape, so I'm super stoked on the price.
All right, so what's kind of tripping me up right now is putting the new one back in. Now, there are these little, they're like plastic, it's not like a race, it's like a slide that sticks out. And you can't see it, but if you feel along the foam right here, you'll actually feel that there is a race that's lined up.
Okay.
So when you slide it in, you got to make sure that you're sliding it in perfectly straight, because if it gets caught off guard, you're not going to get it in. So just make sure that you're aiming for that.
There we go. Woo! You got it, buddy.
I think that's it.
So we just ran to the parts store real quick. I figured I'd get some coolant, and we needed to pick something else up for Matt, not for this car, but also I wanted to get some grommets for the firewall and for these. These are about the right size, they'll work. They fit right over the hoses pretty well. And the ones that were in here before totally just disintegrated when we pulled the old lines out. So I don't have the right size for you. The best thing I could say is take the heater core with you and find ones where it fits right through, and then, I don't know, measure the holes on here if you want. I eyeballed it, and it just looks like, to me, looks like they're gonna fit. Oh, come on. Yep, there we go. Look at that, perfect. Let me get this one in next to it. There we go. Cool. Perfect. Nice. Okay, so back over here to our example. So we did slide the heater core in, or Matt did, so thank you for that, buddy. We got it in, but there's two things about it. The NB one is slightly different in considering the fact that it has the those V-band clamps right here. We slid it in all the way, and where the V-band clamp comes right off here stops up on the plastic in at least on the NA's heater box. So it's not a problem, you can still get it in all the way, but you're gonna have a lot of trouble if you slide it in all the way and then try and get those lines on and the clamps down. So what we did, is I pulled it back just a little bit, and there is enough space in there. It looks like if you slide the heater core in, if you're doing an NB one like we are, slide it in and stop about an inch or a half inch short, and then put the V-band clamps on with the new lines, and then after the after the piping to go through the firewall is installed, then shove it in just that last little bit. So that's what we're gonna do now. Matt's gonna go ahead and get the lines hooked up. Hopefully they seal with those V-band clamps. You just have to make sure that you get it all perfectly straight on so that it doesn't leak, and get it right the first time. Excuse me. But anyway, it shouldn't be too difficult. Just gotta take your time and get it right. Okay, so you can see the connections there where the pipes are gonna go on, and you can also see, if you look closely, it looks like the heater core is about an inch short of being slid in all the way. So here, you want me to just hand you the first one?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh, shit. Should be able to just slide it up and out the firewall, and then set it in there. All right, Matt's got it through the firewall on the other side, and then just go ahead and set it in there straight as possible. Is that pulled down all the way though? It's got to be together really tight for that V-band clamp to actually get around both of the lips.
Yeah, that's down.
All right. Around or no?
Doesn't really matter. No, it goes this way. way you can reach the screws.
And then squeeze it together once you get it wrapped around. Basically, you have to pry it open with your fingers when you pull them off, and then when you put it on, you got to squeeze it together.
Okay.
All right, you got it on there?
Yep.
Then just got to put the screw in. My turn to get into the car. Oh.
Yeah, how's it feel?
It's not that bad.
Uh-huh.
Go.
Do you actually fit like perfectly in that little...
The trick is to get your butt all the way up against the back. All right, hold on. It's like it was a bed just made for me. So the trick, I got one of them on already with the clamps. The trick is just to make sure you get the hose set down all the way into the heater core, and you got to push kind of hard because there's this O-ring here. And then after that, it's just a matter of getting this clamp around it, and you need to get it lined up perfectly straight, and then once it is, you got to have it pried apart with your fingers to get it over in the first place. But then once you get it wrapped around, make sure it's straight, and then just squeeze the tabs together with your fingers all the way, and you should be able to get the screw through it. Come on. Just trying to shove it through the grommet and the firewall. There we go. Hi, buddy. I think that one's a little harder to see because it's further up. I just gotta get it. Oh.
Did you get it?
Mostly. It's not. Here, I had to slide the heater core in a little further because it wasn't lining up perfectly straight. There we go. All right, I think that's it. Let me try and get the V-banded around it. Come on, baby. It's just hard to get it lined up nicely. The other one was a little easier. I think that's it. It's just hard to tell. I just want to make sure that the line's straight. Yeah, if you spin it around it, you can tell. So and there we go. I think that's it right there. Where's the screw? Alright, can you hand me that screwdriver? Thank you, sir. I need to use both my arms just because I have to hold it perfectly straight so that it doesn't come off. There we go. I think that's it. Let's just tighten it down and see.
Did you get it?
I think so. I just need to run my fingers all the way around it to make sure it's straight and clamped together properly. Which I think it is. Good. All right, now that we got those on, I'm just gonna shove the heater core in the rest of the way, which it only needed to go like another, like ½ inch. There we go. Cool, and then we just gotta put that cover back on, hook those hoses up, and fill it all up with water again, eh?
A?
Here, let me see it. I'll show the finished product.
Get this thing to freaking focus. Also, the battery's dying.
Okay. It's filming. Okay. All right, so it's installed, and you can see right here we got the lines coming down, and then we got the clamps, those V clamps holding on the lines right here. So that's the most time-consuming part right there, is just making sure these clamps are set properly all the way around. But as long as you take your time and make sure that happens, it shouldn't leak. Okay, so example time number 2 or 3 or whatever this is. Now, I didn't look when we took it out because Matt was under the car at that time, but the stock box where the heater core slides in on the NA, I think it's slightly different up here. This has these 2 cutouts in it right there for where the heater core slides in, and these openings are to fit the the hoses, including the clamps in them. And I think the NA one has a little bit less space here. So the problem we're having right now is the heater core is slid in like just about all the way, and the truth is it's slid in well enough to work fine. It's sealed up fine as well, so that's good. But we can't get that little plastic cover on because it's just barely too far back.
Really?
Well, at least somebody's having fun, huh? Where are they going anyways? The highway's closed.
It's literally
Again.
shut down.
Again. Why? Okay, so here's, like I was saying, I think the NA one has a little bit less space cut out here for those hoses to go in, and it's actually only, it was only on this side it was stopping, right? On this side it was going in all the way. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm actually just gonna take a flathead screwdriver and I'm gonna try and pry up and break this plastic and crack it a bit off on that one so that we can slide the heater core in just that hair further that it needs to go. I don't know that that's the best method, but I really don't want to undo the clamps and yank the heater core all the way back out because it's a pretty tight fit. I think if we just break the end of it, just to kind of match up like this one is, where it's cut out like that, probably should be fine. We'll give it a shot. Okay, yeah, I can feel where the plastic goes. And it's in a slightly different spot. It's kind of like, it's just a little different. There's a, oh, okay, I feel it. There's a lip coming off that goes in between both of the lines. It's shaped a little bit differently than the NB one, but I'm feeling it with my finger and it's deflecting if I push on it. So I think if I just crack it with the flathead, probably we'll be fine. So now I've got it bent up, and I just gotta get it back more. It's not wanting to break like I was hoping it would. All right, so these little. I know.
That was the ugliest face.
Thanks, buddy.
Let me zoom out a little bit.
So these little clamps, stop laughing at me. These stupid little clamps that were holding the heater core hoses on aren't gonna work with the NB lines, but it doesn't matter. The heater core's in fine. The lines are through the firewall, so these will work out fine. But I did get the heater core in a little bit further by working more at the plastic up top there that was holding it up. And at least that cover there I can get on now. So I just got 2 screws, one on each corner to put back in, and then we fill this thing up with water.
Coolant.
Coolant, whatever, dude. All right, so you can see I got the cover on there. I had to wrestle with it a bit to make it fit just because, you know, what we were talking about before, getting the heater core slid in perfectly. But I think this actually should all work really well. Let's go ahead and get the hoses on next. There we go, fresh new heater core lines and new grommets. I think it looks good. Cool. Let's fill it up with water.
So that's gonna be how you replace your heater core without removing the dash. We did it on our backs with basically just our left hand. Yeah, it took a little longer because we were filming, but it was super easy. Left hand? Left hand. So if you guys want to do it the easy way, we definitely recommend this. Now, after you put the new heater core in, what you want to do is fill up your car with coolant and make sure there's no leaks. And that was definitely our game plan, but that didn't really work out.
It's freaking one thing after another with this car, I swear. Every time we finish a project, something else happens. So I was just gonna drain the old coolant out of here so that we didn't mix it with the new stuff because I was actually putting a different type of coolant in. But anyway, I went to drain it and I was pulling the drain plug out of the radiator and it's like soft aluminum and the bolt froze up and broke right off, leaving the threads in there, leaving it barely draining. But I can't get it out. I tried using bolt extractors and easy outs and it just kept shaving away at it, and if I even try anything else, it's just gonna pull the threads out. At this point, I think I just need to get a warranty replacement on the radiator. So once again, a disappointment. We got almost to the project done. Really? Anyways, we get most of the project done and something else is broken or is wrong. It just keeps happening with this build, it seems like, which hopefully that gets better when we start the turbo build, because I definitely don't want to be breaking things that get expensive like that. But I guess we'll find out in a few weeks because it got delayed again.
every time we do a video, we start off like really excited about the job, and then by the outro, we're just upset.
Disappointed in life.
Disappointed.
Well, anyway, I hope that helped you guys out though, because the heater core replacement's so much easier when you do it this way, and it actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was thinking that I definitely wanted him to do it because he's smaller than I am, but when I went down there on my back, I was doing a few things when I put those clamps on and stuff. It wasn't even that bad. Just pull the driver's seat out and you have plenty of room. So, once again, easy, I guess.
So easy.
But not as easy as we wanted it to be, because the simple things always bite you in the butt later.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Again, this video was actually pretty tough to film just because of its location. So if you have any questions or you need help, feel free to drop a comment. We'll definitely get back to help you out. It's really not too hard if you're following along pretty carefully, but again, it is pretty hard to see. So
I think we did pretty good though. At least on the camera, I feel like we could see a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot harder to show stuff, but that, and then we also had the freaking piece out of the car that we could compare to, which is nice also. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Check our social media pages out, our Facebook and Instagram, and I don't know, that's about it.
All right, you guys, don't forget,
Keep wrenching!